Hello and welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League. I am your host and commissioner, Mike Cablon. With me are my co-hosts, Sierra Kato and Iffy Wadiway. This is the second draft for Great British Bake Off Holidays. We are now about to watch the New Year's episode with a brand new cast of bakers and therefore necessitating a brand new draft.
Wow. And I'm either feeling really good or really bad.
That's
right
true.
now.
We don't know.
We don't.
At time of recording,
What
we
do
have
we
not watched
feel?
either episode yet, so we don't know how we did. But we did draft our bakers for episode 1.
Yeah.
And one of us is in the lead.
Wow.
We don't know. We'll see. But we're about to watch the New Year's episode, so this will be part 1, and then we will move on to part 2 next week. Same rules apply here. We're not changing anything, so same scoring rules, same show. I don't know why I'm repeating all of this. It feels like I'm trying to fluff for time because there's only 4 bakers on the board.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of us, so this is
sparse.
less of a draft and more of just like a calling dibs kind of situation.
Fair. I mean, it is funny, why is there fewer for New Year's? There's just less love for New Year's?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't even know what a New Year's pastry really is.
Yeah, I meant to bring it up on the last episode, but I forgot. But we have less here, so it's probably good that I saved it.
Yeah.
But are y'all aware of Christmas pudding?
What does that mean?
Yeah, I was
going
gonna
to
say
context.
no, but I know what those words mean individually.
Yeah, well, it's like a British dish that
Oh,
is
no.
often was referenced in Jane Austen.
Okay.
And I've heard varying levels of how it's made, but basically you make this pudding and it sits out for weeks up until Christmas, and then you douse it in brandy and light it on fire.
Oh, sick.
But and then there's one version I heard where every day you cover it in brandy, and so by the final brandy Christmas time, it really catches on fire.
Hell yeah.
And then you eat it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
But then I heard
It's
So I
just
was like, is
it's
it
an
just-
arts and craft thing.
Yeah, I was like, it's just ash?
well, you say that, but I was looking at traditionally they used to put coins in it because it
Oh.
was good luck and
Oh,
kind of
right.
like King's Cake if
Yeah,
you
find
got
the baby.
coin.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's a coin.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's
Can
money.
you imagine if you bit into a cake and there's a quarter? It's like, oh, you win.
Well, but also I feel like in Jane Austen times, a coin was like a day's wage.
Oh,
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's it's like putting $100 bill in the middle of the cake.
Come on, baby, I need to eat that coin.
Yeah. No, yeah. Woof.
Wow,
Gotta make
no,
sure
I have
to
not heard of that. And to answer your
disinfect.
question, I have no idea what a New Year's bake is.
Yeah, right. Well, because I think here, what New Year's is, you have your little Martinellis or your champagne,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's cute. And then it's all about getting those Planet Fitness ads and going to the gym the
Yeah,
next day,
yeah.
So I feel like there's less about
It's
the
like
food.
a hangover brunch, you know what I mean?
Right. There is
Or you can make like a champagne cake.
okay. Yeah. I mean,
That's
Georgie
one.
Georgie put champagne
just
in her
did.
final
Yeah.
cake. Yeah, I don't know if people have any special things. I will say in my dad's side of the family, and we are Japanese by trade. I don't know.
By
He
trade.
was
So
an
I'm not
apprentice
sure.
Japanese as
we
a
are
child.
yeah. We're fourth generation, so some things have been changed and not explained. But we do like a mochi, that's a real thing. Yeah, like a mochi soup thing the next day.
Oh.
So
That's
that's like a
really tough.
food.
Wait, what is
that's
mochi soup?
savory. It's like a fish soup. It's
Okay.
called something that escapes my brain right now. But it's like you put a mochi. It's tradition to make mochi, but then also you can just put blob in your soup. That's kind of a fish base, and you eat that, and you kind of it's kind of a little scary. 'cause you
What
might
is
choke.
what's the consistency of the mochi in the soup?
It melts down, so it's really really gloopy, really
Yeah.
sticky.
I just had this. So there's a place here in Southern California. If you go out to the mall in Santa Anita, there's a new place that serves warabi mochi, which is like a variation on mochi that isn't popular here in America. It's less sweet, or it's like it itself is like gooier and coated in like a savory powder, and then you drizzle like the soft syrup on it.
Yeah.
And they have like mochi drinks. It's almost like boba, but it's like matcha, but with like shredded bits of warabi mochi in it. It's very slimy. It's very snotty, but it's good. It's
Ew.
delicious.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Snotty.
Anyway, okay, so we have 4 bakers on the board. There's 3 of us. We'll each draft 1 baker, and there will be 1 lone baker
Oh, yeah.
on the bench.
Who don't
No hard
we
feelings.
trust?
I do feel like we should set some sort of side bet where, if the benched baker wins, we should all have to do a shot or something.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm still ordering that one alcohol that was it Nelly? No, who I think it was
Oh.
Georgia used, and I'm
Oh, I was
Oh,
thinking
that
of
we didn't know.
Christian's like Dutch eggnog. That I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
the
That's
name
the
of.
one. Christian's.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
ordering it. So
Oh hell yeah!
we'll do. Yeah.
So we'll have to do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And the prize, if any one of us wins, is we don't have to do that shot.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Great. We'll use the same snake draft order. I lost Great British Bake Off, which means I'll go first. If you'll go second, Sierra, you'll go last. But you do get your choice between two people.
Yeah.
All right. So for my pick, my one and only pick for the New Year's episode, I'm going to go with Jurgen.
Nice,
Jurgen.
Jurgen.
Okay.
He was excellent in his season.
Aw.
I don't remember his job, and I could have researched it before this, but if I remember correctly, he might have been one of the like engineering types.
Yeah, I think I remember he was it's in his bio.
And I remember really liking him his season. His season was tough. He got the hot season, as I mentioned 2 episodes
Yeah.
ago. Giuseppe, Chigs, and Christelle.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he did really well in that season, so I think he's my favorite. I'm gonna go with Jurgen.
It also said he was from Black Forest, Germany, like of the
Of
cake.
the cake.
ham.
Of the cake?
Yeah.
Oh, ham.
Oh, and ham.
Yeah,
that's right.
and
Yeah.
ham.
I didn't realize so many things came out of
So,
Black Forest, Germany.
I mean, he's just walking amongst some delicious cakes and pigs.
This is how, when I was in college, I went to Belgium, and I wasn't excited about the trip until on the plane right there, I was like, wait a minute. Chocolate, beer, French fries, waffles. It's like all the good stuff comes
Yeah.
from Belgium.
Oh yeah.
Just like
That's
you're
so
on the
funny.
plane and it's just like they start coming in front of your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Germany is the one spot you'll drink beer for breakfast and it rocks.
Speak for yourself. I do that in America, buddy. I do that right in my backyard in the good old U.S. of A.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
An
I need to step my game
international-
up.
Someone, okay, this will take up some time.
Nice.
This is what I'm assuming happened is someone took my email and put it on like an email marketing list for a company.
Uh-oh.
And if you did this, hilarious. But it was for like a really right-wing gun holster company.
Oh my God.
I don't want to say the name of the company because I don't want to give them free advertising. But somehow I just started getting emails. And it's not like I shopped for a gun and I also got on this company's list. Like
Yeah.
that is so far from my shopping habits. I just bought skincare. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started getting emails for like, our holsters are on sale. And I was like, who the fuck put my email? It is a little bit funny. It's a little bit
Yeah.
funny, but I'm also like, God damn.
Specifically holsters. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. Anyway, okay, Iffy, your first and only pick.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What's up, Maxie? Welcome
Okay.
to the squad.
All right.
Yeah. These were also my first 2 picks.
Wow,
so this is-
really?
I mean, they both seem really like they are winners.
Okay. Iffy, I feel like forever now on this podcast, you don't have to do research for your draft for any show we do.
Yeah.
You've just got your strategy going in, which
Yeah.
is pick the black people.
Yeah, pick the black people, get them on there. And it's so funny because the way it originally happened on Top Chef was an accident. They just were.
That's true.
great.
Yeah.
Like and I just so happened to just pick,
Yeah.
have an all black team.
And it's worked out for you, so.
Yeah, it's worked out. Shout out
Oh,
to
yeah,
you,
yeah.
No, I think
Amanda.
Maxie's a good pick. So Maxie, in my vague research, she was in Shabira's season, and she came in 5th, which is
Oh, wow.
almost the finals. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's a good pick. All right, Sierra.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is interesting for me because I technically have Mark next,
But
but I already have 2 men on my first
no,
pick.
you got to double down.
Yeah.
You got to
Should
lean
I?
in.
Yeah.
Go all men.
in.
Men.
Go
Men.
in.
Men.
Men.
It is. Yeah. It's the men are back, as they say. Oh, God.
All right.
Men are back
So
in
I
town.
guess so. We got to leave Maggie out here to dry
All right.
Poor Maggie.
in the rain.
Okay, so I've got Jurgen. Iffy, you've got Maxie. Sierra, you've got Mark. And on the bench, we've got Maggie. And if Maggie somehow wins, we're all doing a shot of Dutch eggnog.
Yes.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
All right. That is our draft. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to watch this episode. And when we come back, we will talk about it and find out how we did during our draft. So we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. We just watched the New Year's episode of Great British Baking Show Holidays New Year's. And now Sierra and I are here without Iffy. Because Iffy also hates New
He's-
Year's. If
yeah,
you remember from 2
he's
weeks
not-
ago, he hated Christmas. Now he hates New Year's.
He decided, yeah, that's his resolution. Hating it.
He was so upset with the results of this episode. He stormed out of the studio, never to return again.
I have a good feeling he might come back.
Yeah, he'll be back for part 2, which is next week. But for now, you're stuck with the 2 Asian hosts. But we did just watch the Great British Baking Show New Year's. The titling is so fucking confusing.
Holiday, New Year's, yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as this one is New Year's, the distinction is kind of there, but sometimes it's not.
It's sort of just the same thing.
Yeah.
Same fake snow on the ground outside.
Right. And
Did you also get
know-
that sense that it's like they very clearly just
Oh.
filmed this right after the other show?
Oh, it looks terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I believe it. I
like,
assume.
Look at everybody's outfits in the tents and tell me what temperature it is outside. It's like watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like everyone is dressed for different occasions.
Well, okay, wait. It's been a while since I've watched Buffy. Does it not take place in Southern California?
it does, but there are scenes with like somebody in like a skirt and a crop top standing next to somebody in like a heavy jacket.
Okay,
standing next to
okay.
somebody in like
Oh.
jeans and a
That's
and a
pretty
pullover.
egregious.
Like,
I
yeah, it's
will
crazy.
say, literally the other day at the Westfield Century City, which is an outdoor mall, for those of you not
yes.
here in LA, I saw a man in a tank top and shorts next to his boyfriend in a full sweatshirt. And they were both comfortable. It was like,
Wow.
that was the right thing for both of them.
I mean, it is, for us Los Angeles folk, cold right now.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm like, I'm in a full wool jacket sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I could see standing next to somebody who's like, I don't understand what your problem is. I'm in a tank top.
It also depends on like how long their days were, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
right now outside the studio right now it's pretty cold. It's like jacket weather. But earlier this afternoon it was like 72, which
Yeah.
is like for some people beach weather. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Sun was beaten down. Yeah, it's hard to gauge. So we'll cut this
We'll cut them some
the
slack.
tent some slack.
Yeah. Anyway, what'd you think of New Year's overall?
Oh yeah, well yeah, I thought it was sweet, more intimate. Fewer
Yeah,
people.
fewer bakers.
So that was cute. They had another music element,
Oh,
which was
Jurgen's trombone playing,
trombone. Yeah.
which I liked. As I was watching it, I actually thought people aren't gonna like this, but I like it.
Hey, can we reference that? Yeah, you're the guy who's loving the thing.
Yeah,
while
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, no. I thought it was precious. I mean, I again haven't seen previous seasons of Bake Off, so I don't remember Jurgen's whole thing when he was on before. But was he just like bringing his trombone in the tent? Or...
I remember it came. Okay, I don't remember 100%. I know it was definitely like a fun fact, and I think he did play it like once in the season
Okay.
because
So-
it's such a demonstrable skill. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Toad it.
Yeah, it's not like your
Trombone
skills
it.
like mountain climbing. It's like you can actually do it here now.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you bring the full brass instrument.
Right. Yeah. Which does seem like a sort of big thing, but
But
Jurgen
yeah,
seems like
yeah.
a good guy who doesn't mind lugging his brass into the city or
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
country rather.
Yeah, he truly did. And yeah, I mean that was a cute addition. It was
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
that it was both a musical component and a contestant.
Yes. Yeah. And also, my comedy brain was like, they deployed it with the right cadence. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
It was like, it punctuated jokes, and I feel stupid that I never really saw it coming. I was like, surely they're done with the trombone gag. And then it came back the right
Oh,
number
wow.
of times
Yeah.
at the right times. And then I was just perfectly, they didn't overdo it,
Sure.
Anyway,
They could have.
they
They could have.
easily could have. It's easy to overdo trombone.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it. I don't care. It's easy to overdo
Whoa.
trombone.
All right,
Take
you
that,
heard it
trombone
here.
shorty.
Lost all our listeners.
Okay, they do their little intro packages. We meet Mark, who is on your team, Team Men.
Mark.
I forgot you really doubled down by the time you got the
Yeah.
New Year's draft.
Yeah, what happened is, I realized I got 2 men, and then I was at the end there, and I was like, Well, they just listened to this, so I guess it's not that interesting.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. For us, it's been a while, so I forgot.
I'm reliving the days, the glory days.
Mark, the first thing I wrote was, what a smile. It's so stupid. But it's like, I feel like what happens is I look at their official photo and I go, no, next.
Oh.
And then I see them within 2 seconds of speaking. I'm like, I like them.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
should have
there's
picked them.
there's something about the living, breathing aspect
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
video, and their personality comes out a little bit more. So
And it's not even just like
I was delighted.
a part of me wants to be like, well, that's British people. And I'm like, no, because I do the same thing on Top Chef. I feel like sometimes when we've done Top Chef drafts, and I've done Top Chef Fantasy in the past, I'm like, I look at their picture, and I'm like, that guy doesn't know how to cook. And then within 2 seconds, I'm like, oh, fuck, that guy can cook the
Right.
shit out of anything.
I mean, this is the problem. This is why, it's hard with the dating apps, I hear.
Speak on it, Miss
Right?
has never dated.
Well, it's
Went
hard
right
to,
to marriage.
just have I just skipped that part, but you look at the photo, and then
Yeah.
that's why the I don't know which one incorporated like voice notes, but I feel like that makes a lot of sense. It's like that the voice can really
Hinge,
change.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hinge,
yeah,
right? Oh, yeah.
resident
Resident
single
single?
person here.
Yeah.
It is Hinge.
Thank you. Val.
Okay, do you have a voice
Does
note?
that help?
Oh, absolutely not.
You just have a link to all of your podcasts. You want to
Yeah.
hear my voice, you got to
Yeah.
sit through 33 minutes of
Yeah,
ads.
MaximumFun.org/join.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's behind a paywall.
Yeah, you have to join.
You want to hear my voice? You got to listen to TV Chef Fantasy League.
Hell yeah. Hello, suitors.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, it does feel like, it's got to come alive. The photo. And Mark and also Mark, I also was like,
No,
I got
yeah,
stuck
he's
with
very-
this guy. I was third pick or whatever. So I'm
Exactly.
like, okay, whatever. I'll throw him in the bin,
I think we have. Well, also, I'll say, just as people of color, there's a little bit, for me personally, a little bit of bias against white men, where I'm like, I don't want
sure,
another
yeah.
fucking white guy. And then he
Yeah,
hears charming Irish accent and his big smile. I'm like, he's really good, probably.
No, I know. It makes a huge difference. Yeah, all of them, apparently you can distinguish yourself once.
With
from
me,
just your race.
easily. Yeah. I'm such a sucker for an accent. You want to hit on me at a bar? Put on a fake accent. Doesn't even have to be good.
Nice.
I'm charmed. I'm in.
We know
Anyway.
what voice notes you like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's saying you read a menu. I don't care. Just want to hear the accent. Mark was Starbaker in his season, but he went out for making something quote unquote inedible during Japanese week, which I don't want to touch the Japanese week thing.
Oh my god, so funny. Yeah, I liked a good callback to that, which
Yeah.
I would have seen. But what was his? It was like a cute. It was like kind of an anime, probably nod or something.
I should have looked it up. I want to say that the challenge was to do something kawaii,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But his was inedible, and so he said his goal was to make something that is not inedible this time, which I think is a nice, reasonable goal.
Sure.
It's important to have reasonable goals. Jurgen, who's on my team, 3-time Starbaker, more than a few handshakes. I was going to say more than a dozen. More than a few handshakes. Dominated the technical challenges. Made it to the semifinals in his season. Really rusty out of the gate here. Every move he made, I'm like, Jurgen, you're killing me, man. I was really counting on you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was also my top pick. I just thought that this guy seems pretty. He was really
Locked
attention
in.
to detail, and
Yeah,
and of
yeah.
course, I mean, it still comes through. But yeah, I mean, this really shows the whole. We're coming back to this 10 after possibly years of
Yeah.
because I honestly think, I mean, for all these competition shows we watch, it's like you could be really great in your own kitchen,
Sure.
but the lights are in your eyes.
Yeah.
And the,
Yeah, it's a different thing when you're up there.
Oh my god, and it's not your same comfortable kitchen setup.
Right.
So yeah. I can
Also, I
imagine.
think when you're going on the show, you practice hardcore. Like we just saw Georgie in this
true.
past season be like, I baked so much. I
Right.
practiced this 100 times.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just kind of like living, you're like, I've already done Bake Off. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I bake for funsies, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, whatever. And then someone asks you to come back on Holiday Bake Off. You're like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. You're not practicing hardcore for that.
I can't imagine, especially New Year's. No, I'm kidding. And
Not even the
lesser
Christmas
one,
episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jurgen does have my favorite accent, right behind Mark. I love the
Good accents
northern
here.
Irish accent, but Jurgen's just, it sounds like Werner Herzog. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Yeah, he's the kind of, and the eyebrows.
Oh, the
Good,
eyebrows.
yeah. Yeah.
Such good eyebrows.
He's kind of a little caricature.
Yeah. So we love Jurgen. Maxie is here on Iffy's team, but again, we don't give a shit if he's not here. No, Maxie is an architectural designer. She got 2 handshakes and 2 Starbakers. I bring up architectural designer because, again, that is the kind of person who I think does extraordinarily well in these shows.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because apparently, they might have to do some puppet show or like some sort of structural
Right,
integrity
yeah.
thing on top of it.
They
all.
have to engineer something that will hold weight.
Right.
know?
And they know form and function.
Yeah, exactly. Maxie also made it to the quarterfinals in her season, but was out on pastry week, so she has a hatred of pastry, which we will see come up later in this episode. I also wrote always smiling in an unnerving way.
Yes.
I don't know
yes.
if there are people in my life, like I used to live with a person who was like this, who was just always smiling, even when they were like scared or nervous or
Oh, sure.
angry. You
Maybe
know,
it's a nervous smile. Yeah, I got the kind
Yeah.
of that energy a little bit. Like she was like excited to be back, but like a little bit, high
Yep.
strung. Like you gotta you got to do this. You got to redeem your pastry week.
Yes, yeah. It reminded me of, did you ever see Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer movie?
Mm-hmm.
There's that bit in it with Vanessa Bayer where, who's
haven't
it,
seen it
Kate
so long.
Blanchett is telling her to like stop smiling, and she
Oh, okay. I can kind of
does
picture
this
that.
genius thing of like smiling even wider, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I smile and I'm nervous. This is me. I'm
Yeah,
very
there's
scared.
a
I'm
Vanessa
sorry."
Bayer energy
Yes,
with that. That's so
very
funny.
much
Uh-huh.
so. Yeah, Maxie's a Vanessa Bayer character. And then we have Maggie, who none of us drafted. So look, we can just analyze her for funsies.
I mean,
She does earn points. Spoiler alert: she
Oh,
earns points
yeah.
this episode.
Damn it. Yeah, I mean, she was very like filling that kind of, to me, Jill category from this past season.
Oh,
where She
okay.
was sort of like could care less. You know what I mean? Like
Ye-
having
oh,
a good
yes.
time, like just happy to be there.
I wrote in my notes:
Yeah.
Is she drunk?
Oh,
I think
hope
she
so.
might. I think she walked into the tent drunk.
Good.
And I'm not judging. This is sheer admiration. I love
Yeah.
an older woman who's like, I'm gonna have some fun.
Yeah, put some sherry in that.
In her season, she made it to dessert week, but she was eliminated because she forgot flour in one of her technical
Oh
bakes.
my god. Well, also a total Jill move. I was like,
Total Jill move.
that, she forgot baking soda. I'm like,
Exactly.
what is entire very important ingredients just missing?
Yeah. Okay, that's a good comparison. This is the Jill of this episode. Her goal was to not do anything stupid this time, which I think, again, entirely reasonable. And as a reminder, if she wins Star Baker, we all do a shot.
Yes.
So
So
those
we'll
are the
be
stakes.
As drunk as she was.
The signature challenge was to make 12 festival religieux. Did I nail the pronunciation there?
Oh, yeah. Sounded great.
What the fuck are you looking at me for? I don't know.
I could have sworn, I don't know when your mic is hot and when it's not. I could have sworn I heard you go,
Yeah, nice. Everyone loves an accent.
I didn't, but I will Foley that in later.
right, great, perfect. Thank you so much. I want to emphasize the pronunciation because everyone pronounced it differently.
Sure, yeah. I was like, I
No
kinda
one
see
knew
that
what the
written down.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I also couldn't spell it. Looking at it on my computer right now, spelled correctly, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That's not how. It looks like I'm looking at the real spelling of Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? When it's spelled like Betelgeuse.
Oh gosh. Oh, didn't even
Is
know.
that too deep of a cut? Okay.
No. I see what you mean, but I just wasn't expecting that. Yeah.
They're
wow.
just shoe buns also.
Well, also like hors d'oeuvres is just like an absurd.
Oh, yeah.
word.
Horse divorce.
Hors d'oeuvres.
That's always how I remember it.
Yeah, horse divorce, yeah, but even it's just all over the place.
Yeah, anyway. It translates to nun because they look like tiny nuns. So that is what we are making. Jurgen made his lucky chimney sweeps with coffee and kirsch creme diplomat, tea and rum creme diplomat, and a cinnamon chocolate ganache. 2 different creams inside, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Aimed high, did not deliver.
It was tough. Lost some nuns.
He definitely lost some nuns. Okay, from the beginning, he did another trombone bit, so I just want to point out they're getting a lot of mileage out of it right off the bat.
Good. Yeah.
He talks about how in German New Year, the chimney sweep is a symbol of good luck because they come to the house and they prevent disaster. We learned that he lives in Brighton, where Noel jokes that the nudist beach is just the central beach, and Jurgen's like, yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Nice. That's where he's there.
Yeah, I got to visit Brighton. They kept referring to Jurgen as the Flavor King, and I was like,
Yeah.
hold on. I guess I didn't pick up on it before we started covering this professionally.
Right. Like that. That's a recurring thing.
Yeah, that they just hand that title out every
Sure.
season.
Yeah. It's getting crowded. Like lots of kings.
We got to
This
get
is not-
Dylan versus Jurgen like flavor off. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, who knows, right? Like we didn't see the full breadth of Jurgen this time. But
Yeah.
Dylan versus Jurgen versus George.
That's right. That's
George,
right.
right,
Yeah.
George.
George also the Flavor King.
Yeah. So they're just handing it out like nobody's business.
Yeah, it's not.
Ish.
It takes away the specialness of it.
It does. Yeah, just more of a flavor, regional winner.
A flavor fife. Yeah. Anyway, Jurgen's shoe did not bake because he did not turn on his oven, which is such a just.
He
It's
was
like
struggling.
it's a simple mistake that anyone could make, but it is so frustrating when you have points on the line.
Sure. No, I know. Anytime somebody makes like a dumb mistake and it's your guy, it's like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
and especially
Jurgen.
especially Jurgen because we know he's capable of so much.
But
anyway,
yeah, it's just those. Yeah, it does really feel like the jitters, right? Like the
the jitters.
new
It's
to
the
the tent. Haven't been here in a minute.
You got to shake off the rust
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So he cranked up the heat, and they did pop up with like 5 minutes left on the clock. He pulls them out, and I'm going to rule on myself negative half point because some of them did hit the floor.
Yeah,
He
like,
was
tumbled off.
Yeah, they tumbled off
Sure.
the counter. We did not see them hit the floor, but they tumbled off the counter. They certainly hit the floor back
I
there.
think. Yeah.
So I'm going to go negative a half point there on myself. And he was, and I love to see this, was determined to present something. So he's like, I can't fill them all, but I'm going to put something out there.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. They still looked good.
They
in
looked
the
good.
Chimney sweep. You looked like a little nun.
Yeah.
Human.
He said some of them looked like they fell down the chimney.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I thought he could have saved it there, but yeah, I wonder. I'm just thinking this now, if he was like nervous about playing the trombone on TV, and he was like, that was like where his mind was
Whoa.
at the night before, and then he's like, okay, I got that over, and then he's like,
Oh, I didn't even
shoot, the
think about
baking.
that. Yeah, the baking was an
So
afterthought.
anytime you're introducing like other skills, it might have been why he was asked back on the show, but
That's true.
it's an extra thing to worry about.
I just read Bryan Cranston's autobiography.
No,
Fascinating if you're an actor out there.
Yes.
But he talks about how when he did All the Way, which is a Broadway play, he was so excited for it and he did a bunch of character work. And then, like, as they were starting rehearsal, he's like, oh no, I forgot to memorize any of this.
Oh,
And he was really panicking, like, up until like the first previews. He's like, I can't get off book for this. It's a lot. He's in every scene doing like monologues and monologues.
right. Oh wow, yeah, because you're just like.
You're so in your head about all the other
That's
stuff, you forget the
first
basics.
thing. Yeah, it's like obviously, but
Yeah.
then so maybe this is the trombone was his character work.
As it is for most trombonists.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Tromboners?
Oh. Oh.
They said that they were deflated and but the flavors were good and it was really alcoholic, so bummer that they weren't baked. Maxie made Away in a Manger religieux with a coffee creme, cinnamon caramel little cores, white chocolate wings, marzipan halos, inspired by her favorite holiday drink, the cinnamon caramel latte. And now I know everything I need to know about Maxie.
Sure.
She is a Starbucks bitch through and through,
Oh yeah.
and I love it. I love it. I know she's got Starbucks rewards points all racked up.
It's got the app.
Yeah, she's got the app. She scans at checkout. She's not paying
Nice.
with a credit card.
Nice.
She's wearing Uggs in the winter. I know exactly who Maxie is
Wow.
based off that.
Wow. Yeah. Paints a picture.
Yeah, it was a nativity scene. When she was like, I'm going to have like 3 wise men and Mary and Joseph, I was like, you're not going to have all that.
Oh yeah. That's a lot. Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a
know there's
personal
that
slight.
many-
I'm like, no one's making that much.
Sure. No, yeah, of course. I think also like I forget the nativity scene. No, I didn't grow up religious, so I don't know too much about it.
Okay.
But it's like it seems like you can just put anybody in there. Like it does. Like I just don't like. It's always every time I hear about it, I'm like, that guy's there too. You know,
There are stock characters
it's
who
a
are there.
real-
It's actually a pretty
I feel like-
basic.
I feel like there's like the like
a clown
Max
and a
version.
bowler.
there's like the there's like a like maximum nativity nativity plus
Okay,
you know,
yeah, I know what you
and then
mean.
there's like the basics
Okay.
that maybe the kids learn 'cause it's
Sure.
like we can't learn the rest of these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I think
She could have
that
done the kids one.
I think Nativity Plus Plus is honestly just more animals
Okay, yeah.
because it is kind of just
It's
like
Noah's Ark is getting in there.
yeah,
too.
it's like Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus and then the 3 wise men. That's kind of it for people. You can throw
Oh,
like an
okay.
angel in there if you want.
Right, yeah. Then I'm like, then I sometimes you see some angel. I'm like,
But
What
then I
happened? Who are
feel
the
like
wise men?
sometimes when you go to like a
And there's
store
camels?
and there's yeah, that's always what it is. It's like there's
Oh.
like a camel, sometimes there's like
Right.
3 camels,
you know
like
what
a
it
bunch
is?
of birds and like a pig because they're in a manger. You know what I mean?
I think what it is too is like people are doing a play and then they're like,
Oh,
we
the
have
kids
like
who
a
can't
30
act.
Yeah, we have like
Yeah.
a bunch of kids who
Right.
need to participate. So you can be like the log.
You can be the front of the camel, and this other kid can be the back. A camel's a nice
Doable.
twofer. You knock out
Yeah.
2 untalented kids. At
Right,
once.
right. And somebody could be the hump. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They can't even.
Yeah, that's 3. That's
Yeah.
3 right there. Easy. 3 camels because each of the wise men rode in on it. That's 9 untalented kids you
Whoa.
don't have to worry about.
that's it. Solved.
She's the only one who did coffee instead of booze. Everyone else did booze. And as expected, she did not finish decorating. They said the flavor was good, but the decoration was all over the place, which is a bummer because she was always very good at decorating. So she let herself down there, is what they said.
The wings looked really cool.
Wings were cool.
Yeah.
Wings were cool. Wish there were more. Mark made his Mark made his boozy religiousy. You can see why I stumbled on my words there.
Yeah, fair.
With an orange creme pat, chocolate croquelan, and a marzipan holly. We learned that Mark has a son now. That was cute.
Oh, yeah.
Love to see kids. And one of his son's first words was cake, or, as Mark says it, cake.
Yes.
Once again,
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
They're doing it.
Any Irish accent. I'm there.
It is, yeah, that was a fun one.
Um,
And it's cute. Kids with the accents, even better.
ugh.
Even
Imagine
better.
a tiny baby saying cake. Come on.
Oh, get out of here.
There isn't that. That was an impression of one, and even I am fawning over.
Oh, your own
Yeah,
child
it's so
impression.
stupid.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, but hits you right in the heartstrings. I think Mark kind of won this challenge by default because he was the only one who's
It didn't fall apart.
just looked normal. He
Yeah.
made 12 of something. And they did say it looked great. It was uniform, worked nicely, fat and well filled. The orange liqueur was delicious, tasted amazing, and they said it was edible, which was his very low bar.
What if he just walked out of the tent then? He did it. A Jeff exit.
Yeah, exactly. Put his jersey up in the rafters, and he was done. Maggie made her New Year's Day party religieux with chopped hazelnuts, red croquelin, and a chantilly cream. She was struggling a little bit, and I was debating whether or not to talk about. She was like, "Look at that, flour goes into a Maggie bake," like poking fun at herself. But none of us really care about Maggie because we didn't draft her. I'm kind of just here to watch her have fun, you know?
Oh, yeah, no. She's like having a good time. I'm like, I was kind of, okay, I want to keep my eye on her to see, like, are we going to regret, right? But then the minute that she was kind of like, they were giving her backstory, I was like, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But also, it's good to have somebody who's like kind of self-aware and like knows that she might be the one who's not drafted. Like,
Yes, exactly.
That's just,
Yeah,
that's how
she's
it
just here to
goes.
have a good time. I did give her a half point here because she told the story of how she went to school in a convent and they taught the girls about how to use leftovers. And she's like, you use the Christmas stuff on New Year's. So she's presenting Christmas flavors as New Year's flavors. And so to me, this felt like it was dedicated to the nuns who taught her.
Cute.
And given her age, I'm going to assume those nuns are dead. So I'm going to give a half point to Maggie here.
hell yeah.
Because I can, and who cares?
I
We
believe
didn't
it.
draft her.
Yeah. We're on our way to a shot.
Her shoe split. Her shoe split in front of the judges as she was piping, as she was talking to them. They're like, "That looks bad." She's like, "You're right, that does look bad."
That was another thing, right? Yeah, that was happening. And she's like, not great. And she like kept going.
Yeah, because she's like, "Well, I
They're-
can't start over,
They're
so
like, not great.
I hope this turns better in the oven magically."
Yeah, that was
They
a
did not.
good moment.
But she's having a blast out there. During the judging, she started off by saying, "Not my finest hour." They said they looked a bit sad, and then they ate them and said they don't even taste nice. And she said, "I absolutely accept that."
Off to a great start.
I love it. That is such a funny comedic mode to me. To just own like, yes, they are terrible. Thank you. Which was her
Yeah.
attitude this whole episode. Just like, you're right. I did mess it up. Anyway, have a good night.
I mean, you really, it's really like I just couldn't find a better competition to also just have that attitude because you're just like, this is one day of my life.
Yeah. And I feel like she's old enough to. I don't mean to harp on her age, but
Oh yes, no, but in a good way. It's like you've like what we've talked about. It's the stakes are a little lower because you've seen it all. It's not going to wreck your identity if you mess up one thing
Right,
because you've
exactly.
lived a lot longer and you have
Yeah,
like a lot
yeah.
more things.
she
to
just
go
goes back to
for.
hang out with her family,
Yeah,
boozing with the gals.
Yeah.
I want her own little Golden Girls spinoff where it's like
her and Hazel.
Golden Girls meets Cheers. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
It's like old women at a
the
bar
pub.
just getting
Ooh.
slammed.
Jill walks in with her dog, and then they're like shit on her husband.
They all talk
I-
shit about their husbands.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
One of them has like a dead husband. You know what I mean?
Right. They still talk shit on him.
They still talk shit.
Yeah.
He's like, no respect for the dead. He was a dog. Okay, that is the end of the signature challenge. So let's do just a tiny bit of scoring here. Once again, we're using the same rules that we used for the regular season, and you can find those rules on our Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League. Again, not a lot of scoring in this first half. Better than the Christmas episode,
All right.
but we're still a little light. Jurgen drops something. I lose a half point. And Maggie dedicated something to dead nuns, which is a half point, which doesn't matter to us for our purposes. So if we combine those with last week's scores, we don't have to include this in the edit. This is out of order as we're recording this, but after the Christmas episode,
Right.
if we add these scores to last week's Christmas episode, here's what our current scoreboard looks like for Great British Bake Off holidays in general across both episodes. I'm currently in the lead with 5 points. Wow. Sierra, you are in the middle with 2.5 points. Iffy is in last place with 2 points. But as we will see in the second half of this, anything could change.
Wow.
A New Year's miracle, if you will, could happen.
Incredible.
And that's your little teaser for next week, part 2, coming next week. Before we go, perfect time to mention that we have merch available at maxfunstore.com. It probably won't arrive in time for the holidays. By the time you're listening to this, you missed the boat. If you're
Maybe
looking for
for
gift recommendations now, buddy, you got to get your life in order.
You got to pay for express shipping.
Yeah.
Or, hey, maybe make it New Year's,
Oh, I thought
it's
you were
part of the holidays.
I thought you were going to say you got to stop by a local. You got to go to like Vaughn's. One time I went grocery shopping on Valentine's Day and I saw a man panicked in front of me in line buying just flowers. I was like, this man is in trouble.
Yeah, definitely could have thought of that. The hardest choice. Yeah, I mean, you could buy the merch in time for a New Year's gift to somebody, probably.
Yeah, look, Cake Dom Dum.
Is that right? Yeah.
Wait, what were you questioning?
If by the time this comes out.
Oh, yes.
New Year's.
Yeah. It'll make it before New Year's, but I was gonna say Cake Dom Dum.
Mm-hmm.
Spelled Cake Dom Dom.
Perfect.
Knows no time limit. So, the kinky baker in your life would appreciate this any time of year. It's never a bad time to order a Cake Dom shirt or apron. So you can do that, maxfunstore.com. I keep messing that up. What I won't mess up is maximumfun.org/join, which is where you can support us for as little as $5 a month. Thank you to everyone who is already contributing. It allows us to do cool stuff like record bonus episodes, which we should do soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The winner of this is going to get a winner's snack, so, you get to listen to that for $5 a month. Show us your New Year's party bakes. Show us what you made for midnight 2024 into 2025. Tag us at TV Chef Fantasy League. Send us an email, chef@maximumfun.org. You can watch full, I actually usually say you can watch full unedited episodes on YouTube. That's not true for these episodes because we are splicing together. We recorded the drafts and the analysis separately. It's actually going to be a little bit of editing here, so.
Sure, yeah, some minimal editing.
Yeah, I don't want to false claim
Yeah,
anyone.
we didn't take the cameras home with us.
Right, exactly, yeah. So check that out on YouTube. Thank you to Sierra Kato for hanging in the studio here.
Love it.
We'll be back next week with part 2 of Great British Bake Off Holidays, New Year's. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. Our theme song is by Dylan Van Auken. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.